Your enemies will need your help. Okay, this is how your enemies will become the needy. All right, so I'm back with another video. This is the last series of um, this story on King David and how he conquered his enemies despite the scandal that he had just committed. And I wanted to break it down into series to make it digestible for my peeps, right? So, God will soften the heart of your enemies. He will also force some type of way where they're gonna need your help. Okay. Um, there is someone who is enduring some injustice, some ridicule, some false accusations, whether that's at work, whether that's in your community, whether that is in your relationship, whether that is in your family, or maybe even a court case where you're facing some injustice. All right, so the enemy is using them, okay, to oppress you and to slander your name or to slander your reputation, and or maybe even to curse you. All right, so but God, all right, big on the B, and God with the big G. He sits high and he looks low upon his children. He looks low upon the people that he chooses, for whatever purpose or whatever promise, right? So let's look at Second Samuel chapter 16, verses 5 through 10. Okay, let's see. So it reads, and this is the NIV version. As David and his party passed Bahurim, hope I'm saying it right, a man came out of the village cursing them. It was Shimei, son of Gera, a member of Saul's family. I'm sorry, it's just kind of hard to pronounce some of these names sometimes. But Shimei was a member of Saul's family. All right. He threw stones at the king and the king's officers and all of the mighty warriors who had surrounded them. Get out of here, you murderer, you scoundrel, he shouted at David. The Lord is paying you back for murdering Saul and his family. You stole his throne, and now the Lord has given it to your son Absalom. At last, you will taste some of your own medicine, you murderer. Why should this dead dog curse my lord the king? Abishai, son of Zeruiah, demanded. Let me go over and cut off his head. No, the king said. Now, this is one of David's people said, let me go and cut off his head. David said, no. Who am I going to do? What am I going to do with you sons of Zeruiah? If the Lord has told him to curse me, who am I to stop him? All right. So, basically, this man was related to David's enemy, who was Saul. That was Shimei, who was cursing David. So either he was jealous or he was being controlled by a spirit that was jealous or evil spirit or whatever. All right. So sometimes God will allow that. He will allow people to come up against you and curse you, whether that's in your family, whether that is at work, your boss, a co-worker, whatever, right? And so if we keep reading on verse 11, it says, Then David said to Abishai and the other officers, my own son is trying to kill me. Shouldn't this relative of Saul have even more reason to do so? Leave him alone and let him curse, for the Lord has told him to do it. So, like I said, sometimes God will allow, some unfair things to happen to you in the process, for his own intended purpose. And sometimes he doesn't tell us the reason why. So David was up against his son, the enemy, and that's Absalom, who he was just talking about. His son was trying to kill him. And of course, David ended up conquering the battle. He ended up winning, and his son was ultimately killed. Even though that's not what David wanted, you know, his son just ended up being a casualty due to David's own sin and scandal with Bathsheba. Go back and read the story of Bathsheba. Very interesting. It was either the king or the enemy. It was either Absalom or King David. So after the battle had been won, let's fast forward to 2 King chapter 19, verses 18 through 23. All right, so that man Shimei, who was Saul's relative, was cussing David. But if we go to verse 18, once David had won the battle against Absalom, his enemy, his rebel son, as the king was about to cross the river, this is after the battle, Shimei fell down before him, the man who was cursing him. My lord, the king, please forgive me, he pleaded. Forget the terrible thing that I did when you left Jerusalem. I know how much I have sinned. This is why I have come here today, this very person in all Israel, to greet you. The very person, the very first person in all Israel to greet you. I'm sorry, y'all. Then Abishai and Zeruiah, I don't know how to say that, said Shimei should die, for he cursed the Lord's anointed king. What am I going to do with you, sons of Zeruiah? David exclaimed. David said that twice. So them sons of Zeruiah must have been something else. This is not a day for execution. It's a day of celebration. I am once again the king of Israel. Then, turning to Shimei, David vowed, your life will be spared. Isn't that something? the man who was cursing him, now he forgave him. Right? So he understood that basically Shimei was being used in the situation, and he spared his life, and instead he vowed to celebrate with him on that day, right? But the point is that Shimei needed David's help because he knew that he would be killed. He knew that he would be executed. So he needed his help, and he had now become the needy, right? So show mercy to your enemies, because that is what your father would do. That's what your father would want you to do. We are becoming more and more like Christ each day. Things can change at whatever point that God wants to change them. So I hope that this video encouraged somebody. I hope maybe it confirmed some things for you. I hope everything is everything with everybody. I hope that this is blessing you, and go and help somebody. All right, peace.